bunch of QAnon supporters and conspiracy theorists are now complaining about getting sick following a maskless conspiracy theory conference in Dallas, Texas. Gee, I wonder what happened. So now the people who are there are complaining of symptoms like coughing and shortness of breath and fever, which sounds a lot like, COVID, the thing that's going around right now, and that has been going around for like the past 2 years. The whole global pandemic thing. Yeah. Now, nonetheless, it being a conspiracy theory conference, who do you think they're going to blame? What do you think they're going to blame? Obviously, anything but COVID. In fact, they're actually pointing at biological terrorism. From who? I don't know. They. Who's they? I don't know. They. They attacked the conference with anthrax. Yes, that's right. Now, that claim began after dozens of unvaccinated and unmasked people spent time together in a very confined space at the ReAwaken America Tour event in Dallas over the weekend of December 10th. Now, the anthrax claim was made by Joel Altman on his Conservative Daily podcast earlier this week. In a video recording of the podcast, Altman can be seen coughing and sneezing on camera, which obviously, if you have anthrax, you're going to be doing your podcast. Because, that's what people do. Yeah, of course. Now, Altman claims that he and his fellow conspiracy theorists were attacked. Quote, "There's a 99.9% chance it's anthrax." Do you have any evidence? Did anybody test positive for anthrax? No, nobody did. In fact, none of the other 3,500 attendees have reported suffering the effects of anthrax. So, no evidence. But he's 99.9% sure. Hey, it must be anthrax. It must be anthrax. I mean, what else could it be? What else could it be? Could be COVID. Oh, no, that thing? Fake. Fake news doesn't exist. 5G, anthrax. What do you expect from a conspiracy theory conference? Honestly. Now, Altman claims that he and up to a dozen other people who were in the green room had fell ill over the following days. When Altman said he was sick and claimed that his symptoms were tempered because he was already taking an earlier antibiotic as a result of impaling himself on an arrow. What? That is never a dull moment with that guy. I tell you what, you are never bored if you are around right-wingers. They're getting anthrax and then they're stabbing themselves with like arrows and stuff. How do you impale yourself with an arrow? I have questions, important questions here that need to be answered. But somehow that's the least of his worries because, freaking anthrax. Holy crap. All right. So now another person got sick. This is Jovan Pulitzer, an election conspiracy theorist, pushed a big lie, who was also at the conference. He apparently was dealing with more severe symptoms. According to Altman, Pulitzer had not been heard from in several days. But then, even though he hadn't been heard from in several days, somehow reported that he had complications including body lesions and weeping skin. Let me just guess, I'm pretty sure he probably made that up. I'm just going to hazard a guess on that. Because again, there's no evidence there to back that up. And it seems very, very convenient. But again, doesn't matter. Now that conspiracy theory, the anthrax, was soon boosted by other conspiracy theorists like former New Mexico State University professor David Clements and Overstock.com founder Patrick Byrne. Another person who was spreading this conspiracy is QAnon influencer turned congressional candidate Ron Watkins, who also might have been Q, or at least a lot of people thought that he might have been Q. And so there's that. Now, look, say it was poison. Say it was anthrax. Well, they had to have had a delivery system, right? Well, these people at this conference are thinking, we know what it was, and we know who did it. First, it was the fog machine. It was the fog machine. Oh, really? Now, Altman, after he made his initial claim, other conspiracy-minded folk highlighted a video from the event that showed a fog machine operating during the conference, suggesting that this is how the anthrax was spread. Again, no evidence of any anthrax, no reports to the CDC or any other federal agency which would have actually investigated this. But sure, fog machine. Now, Clay Clark, ReAwaken America Tour's lead organizer, had dismissed these claims. He told the far-right online talk show host Stu Peters that, look, I don't know, it wasn't a fog machine. Nothing happened. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't anthrax. Interestingly enough, people are now pointing the finger at Clay Clark and saying, not only was it the fog machine, but you did it. You were the one who poisoned the people at your own event because you're the Illuminati. To which he responded to, hey, look, if you go to an NBA game or an NFL game, there's going to be fog. People are calling me every day saying, are you part of the Illuminati? And I go, what? Indeed. Indeed. Clark also talked to the Daily Beast on Wednesday afternoon, saying this, no, there was not anthrax through the fog machines. He noted that if there was anthrax, one, I think we would have all been dead. And then, before noting that the church that hosted the event uses fog for a lot of special effects, which Clark has no control over. Oh, so there's your out. Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't think there was any, I didn't put any anthrax in the fog machine, but I also don't have control over the fog machine, so I don't know what happened. But it wasn't me. I'm not Illuminati. I'm not Illuminati. Well, you know what? That is exactly something a person who is a member of the Illuminati would say. They would say that I am not the Illuminati, and I did not poison you with the fog machine. So what do we? So do we really even know? Do we even know? Look, I can't think of anything more mentally frustrating and annoying than to be a conspiracy theorist caught up in their own conspiracy, you know, being accused of being part of another conspiracy, trying to disprove said conspiracy, but to have to do it to other conspiracy theorists. I mean, it just goes round and round and round. They're going to Spider-Man meme each other. He said this about that. All I know is that we have done 7 events of these so far, and at each event, people have claimed that they've been attacked by a bioweapon. This is actually normal for me. Well, I'm glad to see that you're used to it. Or, you know, maybe it could be the fact that you keep throwing these super spreader events filled with people who don't wear masks and don't use, and don't get vaccinated, and you're surprised somehow that people keep getting sick. Weird. Now, he further suggested that he would ban people like Clements. Now, Clements is the one that came up with the anthrax claim and said this, as a general rule, if anyone claims you're Illuminati, I don't know if you invite him back as a speaker, right? Oh, you're starting to get it. Yeah, I think you're starting to get it now. But just a little bit. Now, Clements responded to this by basically, again, you guessed it, calling him a pedo. Because of course he did. They can't help themselves. It's so sad and predictable. Exactly what they do. They can't help it. They can't. Oh, conspiracy! Everything's a conspiracy. You're a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy though, but you're a conspiracy. And if you're not a conspiracy, you're part of a conspiracy by being a child trafficker. You can't win. You can't win. Again, the simplest explanation here usually happens to be the truth. Y'all got COVID. You idiots got together and gave each other COVID. There it is. Conspiracy debunked. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.